This is a 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Seville, and it is one of just 855 produced. It was advertised as the car of cars, thanks to its beauty, its luxury, smooth ride, and ease of driving. Now this car is actually for sale. It's heading up for auction on Bring a Trailer as offered from Casio Motors, and in this video I'll take you through the exterior, the interior, the powertrain, and of course we'll take it for a drive.
This 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Seville is number 301 of 855 produced, built in Detroit, Michigan, when Cadillac was competing for the world standard of luxury cars, demanding a premium of $7,400 new in 1958, when the average new car for sale in the United States ranged between $2,000 and $4,000. 1958 was a one-year-only body style for the Seville, falling right in line with Harley Earl's annual model change rules and still featuring prominent tail fin styling. For 1958, the Seville received quad headlights as the front was now shared with the updated standard Cadillacs, featuring a new wider grille, rubber-tipped bumper guards which were now smaller and farther apart. In front of the rear tires, 10 new vertical chrome pieces adorned the car. Seville crests were added on the tail fins. The rear bumper was updated with a low-profile reverse light grille and more vertical chrome pieces, and a new narrow V emblem was added on the left corner of the trunk lid with the Eldorado nameplate. This particular car was acquired in 2009 by the previous owner from a collector in Fresno, California, where it was then moved to Kansas City. The car was then completely restored in 2012, and after another ownership change, made its way here to Phoenix, Arizona, as you see here.
This particular 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Seville is finished in alpine white with a white roof over a black and white interior, and features a ton of chrome, gold, and even these Cadillac Sabre chrome wheels wrapped in white wall tires. Now this car is absolutely massive. It measures in at 223.4 inches or 18.61 feet, making it longer than a brand new 2024 Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck. I mean, just look at the size of the cabin as well. You can fit your entire family in there and then some, yet the car still retains a very sleek profile, in part due to the Cadillac X-frame underneath that allowed them to set the body down low and still retain a more stable, comfortable ride with coil-sprung suspension, power brakes, and power steering. Now, if we take a look at the front of the vehicle here, we can see we have those quad headlights introduced for 1958 for the Seville, but there's actually some gold trim here in the Cadillac badges and even here in the grille. And this grille trim would have been one of the 7 options offered in 1958 for the Seville. You can see there's all sorts of other chrome work here, the bullet points, details, gun sights here above the headlights, a beautiful long sloping hood with these elegant sort of speed lines. And of course, even on the opposite driver's side there, you can see that we have the electronic eye for the self-dimming headlights. And if we take a look, we have a beautiful wraparound windshield. We do have the actual rain protection here for the weather stripping. And if we open it up, there's a really cool feature here for the sound deadening, this chrome piece that actually covers the door to help insulate the interior, make it even quieter while driving your Cadillac. Over here we have these 10 pieces added for 58, the rear tires and windows, more wraparound glass in the back, these absolutely massive fins, again iconic for Cadillac, here with Seville badging as well. And as we come around to the back here, we can see some of the last changes for the fascia, including the V and Eldorado badging here on the driver's side. But it is a very elegant, beautiful car, and all the chrome work looks quite sharp on this example. Even the polished exhaust, which lets out on either side, slightly hidden away by all the beautiful bodywork on this Eldorado Seville. Moving on to the interior of our Seville two-door hardtop, it is beautiful in here. It's finished in a black and white leather interior. Even note the Cadillac stitching here in the center of the seats, and we do in fact have bench seats front and rear. Now, not only is this car extremely long, but it's extremely wide on the inside. Now, generally you would say 3 in the front, 3 in the back, but these cars have been known to fit as many as 4 or 5 wide in the front and rear bench seats. But if you only have 2 people in the front of the rear, you even have these center armrests which can be folded down. There's all sorts of beautiful bright work here in the car as well. And before we get too far, I want to show you the door, for example, is beautiful itself. You got all this chrome, these red lights in the doors, more beautiful soft touch material, Seville badging, some of our power controls for the seats and other adjustments. You have your mirror adjustments, and then you can even fit in the back seat. So now I'm sitting in the back of the 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Seville, and as you can see, it's quite spacious back here. I'm about 6 foot even for reference, and my head is not even touching the roof, and my knees aren't even touching the backs of the seat. So you can comfortably fit all sorts of adults back here, pets, kids, whatever the case is. There is tons of room here, especially in the back seat, all while getting other luxuries such as an ashtray if you needed it, and even a cigarette lighter and power controls, and this goes for both sides of the back seat, even over here on the passenger side. Moving back to the front, we have Cadillac in the sill along with a entry light. We have our bench seats, which are sitting on top of this beautiful plush carpet, including these Cadillac logos, which are in front of all 4 main seats here. We have our power brakes with this massive brake pedal engraved, the gas pedal, our parking brake. And if we move up to the top, we have all of this beautiful bright work. First and foremost, we have this massive Cadillac steering wheel with the Cadillac badge in the center, the turn signal stalk on the left, and the drive select stalk on the right, with the main window to show you what gear you're in the center. If we take a look on the left here, we have some more power controls, including our light controls, but this pitch here is actually for our 4 power windows, the driver, passenger, and rear 2 windows. We have the back of that electronic eye for the self-dimming headlights, and if we take a look at the dash here, we have fuel gauges, temperature gauges, our speedometer, which goes across the dash, the odometer, turn signal indicators, even an electronic clock. Below that, we have our defroster and heater. On the right side are the air conditioning controls. In the center here, we have a radio with a power raised antenna. You get a glove box, Cadillac badging, and lots of beautiful styling. And then the passenger gets all of their own switches. It is a very luxurious interior, which features lots of functional, high quality pieces. And for what the price of this car costs new, you shouldn't be surprised that this almost feels like the features of a brand new car.
The 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Seville was offered with one engine option, a naturally aspirated 365 cubic inch or 6-liter V8, utilizing 3 2-barrel carburetors to produce 335 horsepower and paired with a Hydramatoc 4-speed automatic transmission, sending power to the rear wheels. It's clear that for Cadillac, fuel economy was not the priority here, so the Eldorado features a large 20-gallon fuel tank for range. You might have noted the condition of the engine bay, benefiting from the restoration in 2012, and even the prominent air conditioner, which would have been one of the 7 available factory options.
So what's it like to drive the Cadillac Eldorado Seville? Well, really, it's like driving a big couch. I mean, you sit on these big comfy seats, and as the advertisements imply, it's a quiet, smooth riding driving experience. I mean, everything's easy. The power steering is wonderful in this car. You could easily drive it with one hand without an issue. The power brakes make it easy to come to the stop, and you don't even have to think about it. All of these power amenities that you find in here, not to mention just the space and visibility of everything in here. I mean, this car is actually really easy to see out of. Even the back windows, you can see the fins easily. It's just a nice floaty experience in here. And I mean, the gauges, everything that you look at, it's like driving an art piece in some sense. These cars definitely had a lot of extra effort put into the styling. You have those gun sights out on the front fenders that make it really easy to see where the front of the car is. And it's just a really enjoyable experience here. I mean, you have an automatic transmission with 4 speeds, which isn't overly common at the time. We're still talking a lot of 2 speeds or maybe 3 speeds if you're lucky for automatic transmissions in these days. And here you have the Hydramatoc 4-speed. So it's quite a nice experience. And the fact that you have this V8, you get on it a little bit and you got some power. 335 horsepower, so this thing can accelerate. And it just cruises along wonderfully. It handles all sorts of bumps super easily, and it's just a kind of relaxing, lofty experience that feels like driving a couch. So that is a quick look at this 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Seville, one of just 855 produced, and this one even features air conditioning. But it's also for sale. It's heading up for auction on Bring a Trailer as offered from Casio Motors. So if you wanted to own this exact car, now is your opportunity. It's also the end of the video. If you enjoyed it and could leave me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, and consider getting subscribed for more content like this in the future. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.